Welcome to the second week of Inktober. As a reminder, I am not following the official prompts this year. I have my own theme, which is Animals of Poland. Each day I draw a different animal that can be met in Poland and I tell you something about it. And for the day 8, I drew an Eurasian lynx, in Polish ryś euroazjatycki. This is the second from only 2 wildcat species that can be found in Poland, and it is one of the biggest predators in Europe. The second wildcat was featured in my previous Inktober video. If you missed the first week, you can find it linked below. You can also check the video with my story of all previous Inktober's that I attempted. Returning to lynxes, they have a very specific fur on top of their ears. They are very difficult to spot in wild as they hide from people. Lynxes are under protection in Poland, and ecologists work on increasing the population and reintroducing it on some parts, as there aren't that many of them in Poland anymore. There are probably less than 200. With this drawing, I did not do a full frame, only 2 corner pieces where I featured the pattern from lynx's coat and some paw prints. For the day 9, I drew a red squirrel, in Polish wiewiórka pospolita. This is a very common animal in Poland, often seen in parks. They eat various seeds, mushrooms, fruit and insects. Sometimes they also eat eggs and nestlings. During fall, they gather winter food supplies as they do not hibernate in winter. They either build their own nests or live in empty hollows or bird nests. What I did not know, their front paws have only 4 fingers. I've seen this animal multiple times and I love to watch them running around trees. Funny thing about squirrels and my grandma is that she always gives them some walnuts whenever she meets them. If she doesn't have any walnut with her, she is very concerned and apologizes to the squirrel. With this drawing, I also did not do a full frame, but only some leaves in 3 corners. To be honest, I prefer the drawing with full frame than this style. On the day 10, I drew an European hamster, in Polish chomik europejski. This is the biggest species of hamster. It has cheek pouches used for transporting food and offsprings. Hamsters can also fill their cheek pouches with air to seem bigger and to scare predators. They are also quite fierce, and when they get scared, they can attack even bigger opponents such as dogs. Those hamsters are critically endangered at the moment, mostly due to habitat destruction. Unfortunately, I think I forgot to press record and I don't have more footage of me drawing it, which is a shame because I think it is one of the cutest drawings. For day 11, I drew a red fox, in Polish lis rudy. This is the biggest species of fox and its natural habitat is the entire northern hemisphere. However, they were introduced to Australia where they are a very invasive species. Foxes are very social animals, they create herds led by one alpha couple. They are omnivorous and mostly hunt small rodents, but can also hunt other small mammals, birds and even fawns. They also eat a lot of various fruit, especially during autumn. They have great hearing, they can hear a mouse from 100 meters. To hunt, they locate the animal by sound, then take a huge leap, almost 2 meters high, and land at the prey. Since their hunting style is so unusual, I decided to picture this moment in my drawing, and I drew the fox at the end of its jump, just before catching this mouse. For the frame, I drew some oak leaves. Now we have Inktober day 12 and Eurasian otter, in Polish wytra europejska. This is a semi-aquatic mammal that inhabits almost whole Europe and most of Asia. It builds burrows with entry that is underwater and several ventilation holes. Otters are built for swimming. They can close their ears while diving, and their paws have interdigital webbing. They eat mostly fish, but can also hunt small rodents and birds. They rarely wander away from water. That's why I drew them in water and with a fish that they are about to eat. I also made the frame out of tiny fish and some paw prints. On the 13th day I drew a grey seal. In Polish it has two names, either szarytka morska or foka szara. This seal is one of 3 seal species living in the Baltic Sea. They eat mostly fish and they do not drink water at all. Their food is their only source of water. Young seals have cream coat color. Before learning to swim, they shed their pup fur and grow a waterproof one. Fur is darker at the top of the body, and they are covered with multiple black or dark grey spots. The older they get, the darker their fur becomes. They have a long history of conflict with fishermen dating back to antique times. The conflict peaked by the end of the 19th century as grey seals population increased then, and they were destroying fish nets for fishing salmon and also stealing and eating the fish. Due to hunting, their population in the Baltic Sea decreased from 100,000 at the beginning of the 20th century to just 20,000 in just 30 years. Later, the population decreased even more to a few thousands due to habitat pollution that caused infertility. At the moment, there is probably about 20,000 seals in the Baltic Sea and they are under protection. And the last day of week 2, day 14, and the Tatra chamois, kozica tatrzańska. This animal lives only in the Tatra mountains, so similarly to the Tatra marmot from the week 1, it can be met only in Poland and Slovakia. Unfortunately, another similarity is that it is endangered as well. Extensive hunting and grazing of cattle and sheep almost led them to extinction. They were protected since the middle of the 19th century, however, it did not eliminate the hunting, which increased after World War II. After the war, there were about 26 animals in Poland and strict protection was introduced then. In 2023, there were about 926 of them. Currently, they are mostly threatened by extensive tourism, pollution, climate change and low gene diversity. And this is all for week 2. I hope you are enjoying this animal series. Let me know which animal drawing is your favorite and see you in the week 3. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like. Bye bye!